W Rzeszowie trwa 7. edycja Kongresu 590 pod hasłem Łączymy wszystkich. Ten kongres, te spotkania tutaj na Uniwersytecie Rzeszowskim to także spotkania, które łączą pokolenia. Oto dowód Państwa i moi goście. Anastasiia Zaiachuk, studentka kierunku Międzynarodowe, Stosunki Gospodarcze na Wydziale Stosunków Międzynarodowych w Lwowie oraz Haiden, student studiów magisterskich na kierunku Filozofia na Uniwersytecie Paris Lodron w Salzburgu. Witam serdecznie moich gości, którzy wczoraj brali udział w panelu dyskusyjnym Współpraca między państwami oraz nadchodzące zmiany geopolityczne w regionie Europy Środkowo-Wschodniej, Akademia Liderów Trójmorza. Hello, great to see you in Poland, in Rzeszów.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
You took part yesterday also in the panel discussion in the context of the Academy of Three Seas Leader. Can you tell us a little bit more about the discussion which took place here in Rzeszów yesterday?
Okay, so I'll probably start if my
Yep.
partner don't mind. So the discussion, the whole debate was about the future and the presence of Central European countries in whole Europe and in whole world, which role it plays and which role it can play. With young generation like we are right now, and what we can do to this region, how we can perform with it, and how we can be the leaders of the Three Seas region, and how we can contribute to it.
How was it
Yes,
from
and
your point of view?
I would only add that what came out in discussion were the different national perspectives and how we can try to find a common ground in this region with such a diverse set of countries, with so many people of different backgrounds. And it was really interesting to see how differently we approach maybe issues, or how our countries approach issues differently based on where we are from.
So your perspective, young man from Austria, and your young student from Ukraine is a little bit different, but you could find a lot of in common.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
definitely.
So that's something optimistic.
Yes, of course.
And the Academy of Three Seas Leader, which you also took part, what kind of experience was that for you as for young students, young people from the region?
Yeah, I mentioned during our debate, it is very good to see how a Three Seas region contributes to young people to have them good knowledge about what is going on geopolitical aspect in our world in this region, because it is like the desire to have better future than we have right now. And we had many lectures and many different trips which taught us a lot, and we can use this knowledge during our not only everyday life but in our some researches to make the understanding of this region more efficient to our countries and to the whole Europe.
Michal, what did you learn in the academy?
For me, it was a very interesting, let's say, crash course into the Polish view of geopolitics. What are the interests of Poland? What are the visions of Poland? And for me, as like the only member who came from a Western country, it was very eye-opening to say how often things are important for these countries that don't even show up maybe in debates in Austria, for example.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel that all those concepts, ideas which were discussed in the academy and also yesterday, in the near future, can impact the real life of Europeans of this part of the region? Anastasia? Michal?
Okay, that's for sure. Because we have three aspects we can impact on: digitalization, infrastructure, and the transport in this region. And it is not very hard to create some new projects where our new countries and where this foreign trade turnover is bigger than in other countries, and to make this project more efficient to our economies. Because from my point of view, it is these projects, these debates, they lead us to better understanding what can we do in the future within this region.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I would agree with what Professor Sibatovic also said yesterday, that it can become an additional pillar to widespread integration, that just because maybe other countries don't want to implement some steps that would affect Central European countries, doesn't mean that they cannot on their own in the Three Seas region take these steps, and that just because somewhere else maybe integration fails or is slower, that it has to slow down Central and Eastern Europe.
Like it is not only making vertical, it is also making horizontal integration in our region.
Because first of all, you have to get to know each other better, to understand each other better, and then to have common concepts and ideas. But tell me, in the context of the situation now, the war in Ukraine, do you believe that the position in the future of the region, of the Three Seas region, can be more important in the European Union, in Europe in general?
And this region is really fast growing, and the main thing in this region is that the first perspective is economics. But I think that now we see that the first perspective should be security, because without security it is no economics, no infrastructure, nothing at all.
That's
so it is like the main lesson which gives us this war that is going right now, and it will have like a really big impact for us in the future.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, and I would also add that what we saw, like especially in the beginning of the war, how quickly it changed who are the moral leaders of the European Union, because it used to be Germany and France, but now I think it has very much shifted to the Czech Republic, to Poland, because they were the first ones to actually and unambiguously support Ukraine in the war. And I think this will affect long time in the future who are the ones in the EU who have this like moral weight to decide what future courses should be.
The future is also rebuilding Ukraine. That will be probably in the near future the biggest project. How do you see then the role of the whole region, all the countries in rebuilding Ukraine?
Like many countries, also Baltic states, they are really conscious with what is happening, because they are phrased that if not Ukraine, then we will be next. So they understand us fully, and they
understand you better than the Western Europe.
Yes, because they feel that, and if we look of their export of military forces to Ukraine, they exported approximately 40 or 50% of their GDP, which is in military. So that's the place where these countries can contribute to Ukraine and rebuild our infrastructure. And I know that Lithuania is important. It is important for them to rebuild the Mykolaiv region, because it is some kind of a contract between us and many other regions. I know that many other countries from Three Seas have the same, but with other regions of Ukraine.
Michael?
I think it's in our common interest to have a very quick recovery, because actually in Austria, which is often forgotten, Austria is actually the country that has benefited the most from the eastern expansion of the European Union. I don't know the exact number, but I think our GDP would be 16% lower today if we weren't part of the European Union and hadn't expanded. So I think if we look at these data, we can see that there's a common interest for everybody to quickly integrate Ukraine into the European Union, quickly rebuild it, because this is not only beneficial for Ukrainians, which is the most important thing, of course, but it can benefit everyone.
But first of all, the war has to end. That's the most important thing. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us here in Rzeszów. I hope this day was very inspiring for you. Was it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Great to hear it. Thank you very much again. Anastasiia Zaiachuk i Michael Haiden, młodzi ludzie, którzy brali udział w Akademii Liderów Trójmorza, byli Państwa i moimi gośćmi. Tyle teraz, jeśli chodzi o nasze studio kongresowe, ale proszę koniecznie z nami pozostać. Kolejni goście już niebawem. Do zobaczenia.